Hey everyone, this is Hannah with the Rocket Miner, giving you another news update. To start off, I just want to quickly go over where our COVID-19 numbers are at in Wyoming. Today we had 152 new confirmed cases from where we were at yesterday, and 137 new probable cases. With the new cases and the recoveries, thankfully we've still been seeing a general downward trend in our active cases. So today we're at 2,375 active cases. That is down by 592 since yesterday. Unfortunately, here in Sweetwater County, we're still not doing great, still have quite a few active cases. Today we have 278 active cases in our county. And then for all of Wyoming, the death total once again went up as 7 more COVID-related deaths were added by the Wyoming Department of Health today. So that count is at 328 deaths for all of Wyoming. The biggest news from the last couple of days and news that we've gotten updates on today is that the COVID-19 vaccine has started to arrive in Wyoming now. And the first vaccine was administered today in Wyoming. It was given at the Cheyenne-Laramie County Health Department this morning to a local public health nurse there. So that was the first vaccine that's been administered in our state, was today. Shipments of the vaccine arrived yesterday, more are coming today, more are coming next week. So it has started arriving and will continue to. Public health departments in Casper and Cheyenne were the first to receive shipments of the Pfizer vaccine. They received those yesterday. And then 3 additional shipments of the Pfizer vaccine, the same number of doses that went to those places, are expected to arrive today. If they haven't already arrived, they were expected to come today at hospitals in Cody, Jackson, and Gillette. As these first shipments of the vaccine come to Wyoming, the priority is to get them to healthcare workers first, specifically, and then also to residents of Wyoming nursing homes. Those 2 groups will be the first to receive vaccine doses from these shipments. Among the healthcare workers, officials are planning to vaccinate hospital staff, and then medics, providers at long-term care facilities, and then other health-related groups after that. There is a detailed breakdown of who gets the vaccine first and the rationale and who those groups are. You can find more of that information and specifics at rocketmire.com, some of the stories we have up there. It's expected that it will be into the next year before we begin the next phase of administering the vaccine in Wyoming. And when we get that next phase, that will start to cover some essential workers and residents who are older, specifically those 65 years or older, and those with underlying health conditions. The experts have said, just looking to the future and thinking about the different groups and phases that get the vaccine, that healthy people who don't fall into one of the priority categories will likely have to wait until probably the spring for there to be enough vaccine doses to be available to the general healthy public. So it will still be a while before the vaccine gets to the general public, but the first shipments have arrived already in Wyoming. They're already starting to be administered to those high priority groups. So that is good news. Dr. Alexia Harris shared some comments about the COVID-19 vaccines and specifically noted that these vaccines, like any others, are held to high standards to make sure that they are safe. A lot of people express concerns about how do we know that these vaccines are safe to take, how do we know they didn't just rush this process. Dr. Harris commented and said, "Things may have moved quickly with these vaccines due to unprecedented focus and investment, but safety has remained important. No steps were skipped." So she is confident and reassuring everyone that these vaccines are safe. They have gone through the normal procedures and checks that vaccines have to go through to make sure that they're safe to be distributed. The Pfizer vaccine, which is this first one that has arrived in Wyoming, does require an initial shot and then a booster shot 21 days later. State officials have said that the first shipments that have come now will be used to give residents that first shot, and then the booster shots are going to be distributed with later shipments that come in. Here in Sweetwater County, we are expecting to receive shipments of the vaccine by next week, most likely. Caleb touched on that in his update video yesterday with some of the information from the meeting of local health officials, some of the information Dr. Jean Station shared during that. We have more information on that story, and we'll have a fuller story on that meeting soon on rockandmire.com, so you can see what the local health officials have said and where we're at in our county and our expectations for the vaccine. But we are expecting to have that probably as soon as next week. We'll start getting here and going out. Another important news story that I wanted to share from today was that a missing boy was found south of Rock Springs after an Amber Alert was issued on Friday night. That Amber Alert went out on Friday night. Most people get that on their phones and are alerted of that, so most people were aware of that. The Wyoming Highway Patrol was notified of this Amber Alert, and the alert was sent out after a 10-year-old child was abducted from the area of Idaho Falls, Idaho. Law enforcement were told that the suspect vehicle involved in the incident was possibly headed towards Pueblo, Colorado. So around 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, a Wyoming Highway Patrol trooper was notified of a broken down vehicle in the road around milepost 32 on Wyoming 430 south of Rock Springs. So he went to check that out, realized it looked like the vehicle that was described in the Amber Alert, started investigating. Turns out that they found the boy that was missing, Derek Jesus Abatia Rodriguez, who was traveling with his non-custodial mother, Gabriela Rodriguez, and she was the one who had allegedly taken him without permission. The trooper also discovered misdemeanor amounts of marijuana and methamphetamine inside the vehicle. The child, Derek, was able to be taken away from them safely and released to the Wyoming Department of Family Services. And then Rodriguez and also the driver of the vehicle, who was Eugene A. Trujillo, were both arrested. So we got more information on that today, and that was a great news update to get, just to know that this boy was found and is safe now, and that the Wyoming Highway Patrol was able to help with that. So wanted to share those, the two biggest stories that we have going on today. Keep checking back with us for more stories, of course, and updates, and I hope that everyone has a good night.